Azure Data Studio is retiring. Learn everything you need to know about the MSSQL extension in VS Code and things like GitHub Copilot. This week on Data Exposed. Hey, I'm Anna Hoffman, and welcome back to Data Exposed. Today, I'm joined by Tassif, who is our product manager working on the MSSQL extension in Visual Studio Code. Welcome to Data Exposed.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Excited to have you on. I mean, this is a really hot topic. Azure Data Studio is reaching its retirement end date, whatever you want to call it. So I know you want to show us all the awesome stuff that the team is doing in VS Code and with GitHub Copilot. I'm super excited to see it, but maybe you could just share a little bit on what's happening with Azure Data Studio and what are some of like the latest things that you guys have done.
Right, so Azure Studio is retiring in February 28th. So a part of what the MS SQL team has been doing for the last year or so has been bringing in a lot of new capabilities that customers are used to in ADS, as well as some new features to give a more modern developer experience. And so a lot of what we've shipped over the past few months in terms of our schema management tools, Git Copilot, bringing in a lot of those ADS features, SQL Profiler, and even the three features I'm going to be showing here today, including two sneak peek features that we'll have releasing in the next couple of months. So a lot of cool things the team has been working on.
Okay, cool. I mean, that sounds great. Let's take a look.
Yep, absolutely. So going up over here, so what I want to show is our changelog. So a part of what's cool about the MS SQL extension is that we have this new centralized place where you can see all of the recent highlights of what we've shipped. So you can actually scroll here to see all of the recent features that have been released and learn more about them. So things like edit data, DACPack import and export, and the ADS connection migration tool, which we'll be going over right now, are all in this changelog that you can view and learn more about. On the right hand side, you can also watch any demos on YouTube on any of the features that we've released, as well as view our roadmap that has like our future plans. You can even file bugs and request new features directly from this changelog, as well as even register for SQLCon over there at the top. So this is a centralized place to discover everything related to the extension. So now I'm going to go ahead and actually enter the ADS connection migration toolkit. So this is our dialog here. The first thing you'll notice is it automatically does import your ADS settings file. You can browse and change that if you want to switch it to something else. It'll import your connection group colors, the name of your connection group. So you can see that I have my test and test2 connection group here. If I unselect a connection group, it'll also unselect the connections that are part of that group. So it's very intuitive and easy to use. And if you're looking to import all your connections at the same time, it's very fast and easy to just select everything and go from there. You can even unselect a specific connection if you're not looking to import that over. And so it's very easy to use and easy to organize what you're looking for. The other thing is you can also sign into multiple Azure accounts. So I can actually switch my account if I'm looking for something different. Because I'm already signed in, for me, it's automatically here. But I can come here to actually switch my account and select something different if I want to sign into an additional account or anything like that. So now that everything is all set and my status is ready, so everything looks like it's good and I'm authenticated, I can go ahead and select import. And from there on the left-hand side, you'll see that my new test connection group is there with my two databases that I have from ADS. And I just have to click on the database, and from there, it should connect automatically. Now I'm ready to go. So it's that easy now to migrate over any connections that you have from ADS.
Nice. Awesome. I love this. I love how it just, makes it really easy for someone who was using Azure Data Studio, whether it was just a little bit or a lot, makes it super easy for them to bring their settings, which is huge, as well as their connection. So that's awesome. What else has been going on?
Absolutely. And so we have another feature here that I want to show, and this one is actually a sneak peek. So this is not being released in January, but it's something that we have in the works very soon, and that's database backup. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over to my container and to my demo database that I'm going to use to demonstrate this, and I'm going to right click and enter the database backup preview, and that'll open up this dialog. So as you can see, you can select a different name if you want to. You can type something in here. I'm going to use the default that it has for this demonstration. I can actually pick a backup type based on what I'm looking for. You have options between full, differential, or transaction. I can copy only. I can also save to URL, which is a cool feature. If you're looking to save, you can use your Azure account for this as long as you have a storage account and blob container. for this demonstration, I'm actually going to save to disk. So what I'll do is I have a new file here. And what I'm going to do is I can even use the file explorer that we have available. So I can go through this and I can look for a file path that I want to save for. So I'm going to select the option that it gave me here. And I can, again, edit the name to whatever I want. I customize that. And I also have advanced options. So if you're familiar with Azure Data Studio and the database backup experience there, you have very similar advanced options here that you can use if you're looking for that. And as far as script, I can also manage the script of my database backup, and I can edit this and use it directly from here. And I'm going to go ahead and because I'm ready, I'm going to go ahead and hit backup, and that should successfully back up this database to my disk. So you can see it gave me the message that's successful. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back into my demo database, and I'm going to overwrite and choose an existing backup. So the one that we just saved, the demo database backup, I'm able to find that using the file explorer, and it should display my demo database. So it's right there. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to select it. And from there, it's able to override your existing backup. So I'm going to come down here and you can, set media sets. And I'm just going to, for the sake of this demo, just put test. But you're able to customize this to whatever you want. So once I hit that, I can, again, hit backup and it should override the existing backup. So you're able to do this. And this is a really cool functionality we wanted to bring over from ADS. And we're also looking to add restore as well as a part of this. So the dialog should be able to allow you to not only do a database backup, but then also restore a database. So these are two functionalities that we're looking to have in this one dialog.
Cool. Awesome. I love to see how quickly the team is kind of putting out new things in response to what people saw in other things or what people want kind of net new. Okay, I know you also said you had a sneak peek on Profiler. Uh
Yeah.
let's see that.
Yeah, of course, of course. And this is a feature that we've, of course, heard a lot of feedback for, and it's something that's really, really cool and interesting to see. So as you can see over here, I'm going to use GitHub Copilot to connect to my database here. From there, I'm going to open, using the command palette, the SQL Profiler. Once I have that opened, I'm going to actually use GitHub Copilot to give it a prompt. So what I'm going to ask it to do is to create synthetic database activity that I can then use SQL Profiler to monitor and analyze. So I gave it a prompt. I'm going to use the standard template, but if you notice, I have multiple different options that I can use in Profiler with when it comes to templates. So I'm going to name this session, and then from there you can see that it's already starting to work, and it's starting to detect any activity, and it's showing me all of this. So I'm going to go ahead and filter to a specific database that I want to see the activity for. So I have the ability to do that. I can simply search the database that I want. I can apply that filter, and then I'm able to see all of the activity here. You can, tap into any queries here and take a closer look at it. So I'm actually going to pick this query specifically because I know that I mentioned it in my prompt with GitHub Copilot. So as you can see, what I'm checking right now is to see if there's the same content. So as you can see, the activity is the same. It's displaying the same information. And that just shows how Profiler is able to find queries and you're able to analyze them in detail very, very easily. So you can see it's the same, and Profiler is able to show you that. And it's very, very easy to search for that and find what you're looking for. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the filter. I'm going to clear what I did before, and I'm going to add a filter to show my master database. So again, I'm going to add this filter. I'm going to apply it. It changes in real time. I'm going to go back over to my Object Explorer, and as soon as I hit master, you can see that it added the activity immediately. So it's very dynamic. It's very fluid. It's easy to use. As you're doing things, it'll reflect that change. So again, I'm going to go back. I'm going to stop the profiler from running. I'm going to export a CSV. So if I want to do any offline analysis, or I want to work with my information offline, I can also export that to a CSV and use it with another tool or do it at a later time. So it's very, very easy to use. And if you're looking for any real world scenarios, it's very simple to go and analyze your data using the profiler.
No, that's awesome. That's super exciting. I'm very excited to see that sneak peek, and I'm sure other folks will be too. Hey, as we kind of look at closing out the episode, I'd love to get a glimpse into kind of everything the team has done, as well as like, what are you guys doing next?
Absolutely. Yeah. And the cool part is we actually have this roadmap. So this is our MS SQL roadmap that's publicly available. You can find it on GitHub. And SQL Profiler was actually put on the roadmap and planned because of customer feedback that we received using this
Nice.
site. So if you look over here, you'll be able to see all of the tools that I mentioned. So ADS migration is mentioned here for the January release, as well as backup restore database that you'll see in February. So all of the different features and bug fixes and improvements that we have, they're all mapped out here. They're all publicly available. You can look ahead to see what's planned and what's being released. And it's goes all the way up until March. So even after retirement, we have some features there. So you can see over here, there's bug fixes, schema management tools. Everything is mentioned here. And if you're wondering like what this icon is to the left of it, I will show it in a second, but you can actually see the live status for where these features are at. So a cool part of it is you don't have to wonder like what's in the works. We have live updates. So as you can see over here, it kind of annotates this. So if the work has started, if it's completed, if it's a stretch goal, you'll be able to see in real time like what the team has been working on and where we're at with developing that feature and releasing it. So that's also available there. You can also see previous features that we've shipped. So we've done a ton of releases over the past year in 2025, including a lot of cool tools. So you can actually catch up and see what's been shipped and what's been released, and see everything the team has been working on for the past couple of years. And if I scroll all the way to the bottom, I can see some future features that we have planned that we want to eventually release. And if I scroll all the way to the bottom, you can actually directly from here contribute any ideas. So if you have any ideas for us to improve the extension, you can contribute that here. You can report any bugs that you're experiencing. You can even suggest new features to us all directly from here. So if I click on this, it'll take me to a template where I can very easily just give it a title, write any, what I'm describing here. I can even give it a label, and the MS SQL team will review this and consider it in our next release. Um, and the last cool thing about this site is that I can actually go to the code tab, and from there, it'll give me all the different links to my demos, to our demo playlist on YouTube, to our blog posts and documentation. So from here, you can actually catch up on all the different stuff that we've shipped and released, and you can watch any demos. Look through any content that we've already put out there to learn more about the features that we've shipped over the past year. So this is a one centralized place to show all of that. And just to kind of summarize all of the links that we showed here, you can always catch up using any of our playlists and demos to find out more. And we're really looking forward to all of your guys' feedback and requests. And we're at the MS SQL team is working to include all of these things into our MS SQL extension.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Tasif. I learned so much. This was super exciting. I'm going to go get the latest release of the MSSQL extension. And I hope everyone here does too. So if you like this episode, go get the extension, leave us a comment, and let us know what you think. We'll put those links in the description for you to learn more. And we hope to see you next time on Data Exposed.